Hi, my name is Rostislav Zetler, and today I'm going to be giving a brief walkthrough of one of the many things I do here at the Charles Herndon Art Gallery, which is stone polishing. So once I'm given a completed sculpture from artist Charles Herndon, I can begin the final polishing process, which gives us that finished product we see on display in the gallery that's nice and smooth and shiny. And here's how that works. So in front of me here, I have an assortment of sandpapers, sanding stones, and hand tools and files. The hand tools are typically used for making deep carvings into the deeper grooves of some of the sculptures, but they're not necessary for all of them because not all of the sculptures have those deep grooves. Typically, I begin with the most coarse sanding stones, which are good for making an impact, helping to slightly reshape and accentuate some of the curves on the sculpture. Once I can feel the texture start to change, I can move up from the coarse sanding stones up to the finer sanding stones. They range from 40 to 400 grit. And then eventually I can move up to the sandpaper, which ranges from 400 to 2000 grit. And at that point, I'm not reshaping it at all. I'm really just trying to make it as smooth as possible. And the 2000 grit is so fine that it barely even feels like sandpaper. So each step in the process, I take a regular number 2 graphite pencil and cover the surface of the sculpture in pencil marks. And this isn't gonna hurt it. These are gonna sand right off with the sandpaper, but this is really just more of a visual clue for myself so that I can tell where I've been and cover the entire surface instead of retreading the same area over and over again. So we've got it covered in pencil markings, and this one's actually already pretty far along. I'm using 1000 grit sandpaper on this one, so it's pretty smooth, but it's got a couple more steps to go. I put it under the running water, which helps make the stone a little more pliable, and just put a lot of pressure on the sandpaper and make repetitive long strokes across the sculpture until I've covered the whole surface. And then you do that several times until you can feel it's smooth enough to move up to the next level of the finer sandpaper. Once you've gotten to the 2000 grit sandpaper and it feels smooth as glass, then you can move on to the final step, which is the silicone water guard. This not only waterproofs and keeps the sculpture safe from the elements, but it also gives it a nice glossy finish. And that is the standard way that we do most of the polishing. Obviously, there's some more involved methods for some of the individual pieces, but this is the basic process for sculpture polishing at the Herndon Gallery.